All right, today we're diving into one of the world's most talked about citizenship programs, Malta's. We're going to explore how this tiny Mediterranean nation became this incredible gateway to global freedom for families all over the world. So let's get right into it. This really hits the nail on the head. We're not just talking about skipping visa lines at the airport. This is about a much bigger, strategic decision. It's about legacy, it's about security, and it's about the kind of opportunities you want to create for your family down the line. That's the core idea driving this whole thing.
So that's the real question, right? We've talked about the why, that deep desire for global freedom and security. But now let's get into the how. What does it actually take to make something like this a reality?
Look, when it comes to second citizenship, there are plenty of options out there. But Malta? Well, Malta is in a league of its own. This isn't just another program. It's pretty much considered the gold standard. It's a highly respected, stable, and transparent pathway right into the heart of the European Union.
And here's the number that just stops you in your tracks. Over 190 countries. A Maltese passport gives you visa-free access to more than 190 countries. Think about that for a second. We are talking the US, Canada, Australia, the UK, Japan, and of course the entire EU. This is the kind of mobility that really defines what a powerful top-tier passport means today.
What's so compelling here is that the value isn't just one thing. It's built on these four massive pillars. First, you've got that incredible global mobility we just talked about. But then you get full EU rights. That means the freedom to live, work, invest, or even retire in any of the 27 EU nations. And just as important, the program itself is stable, legal, and transparent. But maybe the biggest pillar of all, it creates a generational legacy. This citizenship is permanent, and you can pass it down to your kids.
Okay, so how do you actually qualify for all these benefits? Well, the great thing is that the pathway is designed to be super structured and really clear, which is exactly what you want when you're making a big decision like this. So let's break down exactly what's required.
So the financial side really boils down to three core commitments. It's not just writing one single check. You've got a direct contribution to the nation, an investment in real estate, and also a small charitable donation. Let's take a quick look at each one.
First up is the main contribution. This is a non-refundable investment that goes directly into Malta's National Development Fund. It starts at 750,000 euros for the main applicant, and then there are additional amounts for any family members you add. This is the part that directly supports the Maltese economy and its people.
The second piece of the puzzle is a 5-year commitment to real estate. And what's great is that you've got flexibility here. You can either purchase a property worth at least 700,000 euros, which gives you a physical asset in the EU, or you can lease a property for a minimum of 16,000 euros a year. That second option keeps more of your capital free. So it's really a choice between owning an asset versus a lower upfront cost.
Okay, let's put some real numbers to this. This table shows you how it all adds up for a family of 3. You'll see the government contribution is now 850,000 euros. That's because it goes up for each person you add. Then you have the donation, the fees, and the real estate. If you lease, your total cash outlay over 5 years is around 1.11 million euros. If you buy the property, your initial outlay is higher, but the key difference is that at the end of 5 years, you own a 700,000 euro asset.
All right, we talked money. The next big question is always time. How long does this whole process take? This is another area where Malta's program really shines, because it's known for being clear and, frankly, pretty efficient. And here it is. It's fast. Within the first 1 to 3 months, you actually get your Maltese residency card. Then, at the 12-month mark, your formal citizenship application goes in. And if everything checks out, you could have your new passport in your hands within 12 to 14 months. That is one of the fastest, legitimate routes to full EU citizenship anywhere in the world.
So we've gone through the what, the how, and the when. But let's just zoom out for a second and talk about the who. Who is this program really for, and what is the long-term value that they're chasing? Because it's really about so much more than just a travel document. It's about building a global legacy.
And the answer is, well, pretty much everyone. The appeal is absolutely global. You see applicants from every single corner of the world. We're talking entrepreneurs from New York, investors from Dubai, professionals from right inside Europe, and families from places like Lagos and Mumbai. The fact that it's so diverse really tells you everything you need to know about its universal value.
And what's really fascinating is that each group is often looking for something a little different. For an American, it might be about having that strategic base in the EU and a different lifestyle. For a European, it could be Malta's stability as an English-speaking financial hub. For families from the Middle East, it's a trusted bridge to Europe.
And for so many from Asia and Africa, it's about securing that permanent anchor in Europe for total global mobility and security.
You know, this line from our source material just sums it all up perfectly. Malta's program isn't trying to be the cheapest option. It positions itself at the very top of the market. It's a serious investment in security and reputation and in long-term reward. It's not just a transaction.
And that brings us right back to where we started. After seeing all the benefits, the numbers, and the timeline, it all comes down to this one simple question. What value do you personally put on giving your family a permanent anchor in Europe and the freedom to go almost anywhere on Earth? At the end of the day, it's a question about legacy.